Moin! Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's get into this video. This video is from Toma Tolex, a German YouTuber. And they're on Vancouver Island, and they're going to be going out and exploring and encounter some orca whales, which is really interesting and very cool. Orcas are incredible. Just seeing whales in general are incredible. I actually saw some orcas on a recent hike, and it's pretty amazing when something like that happens. You kind of just stop and watch. We just sat and watched them for the next 45 minutes just from our viewpoint, and they were hunting. They were doing something, I don't know, but they were hanging around in one area, and yeah, you just kind of observe in wonder. So it was very cool. Let's get to the video.
They are an apex predator. They will hunt and kill baby whales.
Sind Killerwale gefährlich? Oh mein Gott, die sind wirklich so ein paar Meter von unserem Boot entfernt aus dem Wasser gekommen. Absurd, ich kann es gar nicht beschreiben. Bestimmt habt ihr in letzter Zeit auch oft von Orca-Angriffen auf Boote gehört.
Die Menschen an Bord sind den Orcas hilflos ausgeliefert.
Die Orcas beschädigen ganz gezielt die Ruder der Segelyachten.
That sound, a pod of whales ramming into a yacht.
Hier war eigentlich das Ruder. Das haben sie als allererstes zerstört.
Some wonder, are they being playful or are they seeking revenge?
Allein in den letzten 3 Jahren gab es über
Probably a mixture of both, or the curiosity as well, and they see these things going through the water. He's getting into how many attacks there have been or how many encounters. I'm curious where he's going to be going on Vancouver Island.
500 solcher Vorfälle.
500
die Zahl
incidents.
steigt weiter. Und auch sonst genießen die Killerwale kein gutes Image, denn sie sind hochintelligente Jäger und stehen an der Spitze der Nahrungskette. Zu ihrer Beute gehören unter anderem Robben, Delfine oder sogar Wale. Aber sind Orca-Wale wirklich die gefährlichen Raubtiere, für die sie oft gehalten werden? Um das herauszufinden, reise ich zu einer der abgelegensten Inseln Kanadas und werde da Orca-Forschende bei ihrer Arbeit begleiten.
Okay, what's this remote island that he's talking about? Because I hope he's not talking about Vancouver Island.
Ich bin sehr gespannt, wie das wird
It's not
und ob
remote
ich vielleicht
at all.
sogar echte Orcas sehen werde.
It looks like he's on the west coast of the island. I'm gonna guess he's near Yakulit or Tofino.
Aber bevor es dahin losgeht, stelle ich euch noch kurz den Sponsor des heutigen Videos vor, NordVPN. Immer wenn ich Reise, Bergen, Werbung im Internet regelmäßig werden wollt, 2 Jahre könnt ihr noch International kommen, aber um jetzt wirklich in die Wildnis zu kommen, muss ich noch mal ein Stück weiter, und zwar mit einem Boot.
Okay, so I'm guessing he's...
Alright, ich würde sagen, das sieht gar nicht mal so gemütlich aus.
It's gotta be near...
Ich bin jetzt hier auf dem Boot und wir fahren 2 Stunden lang bis zur Insel, wo die Forschungsarbeiten stattfinden. Und dieser Ort ist wohl super besonders, weil es einer von ganz, ganz wenigen Orten auf der Welt ist, wo Orcas hinkommen, um sich ihre Bäuche zu rubben oder sowas. Was das genau
Rub their
sein
bellies.
wird, das werden wir erfahren. Auf der Expedition begleitet mich Jakob. Auch er hofft, dort Orcas zu sehen.
Also wir fahren 2 Stunden mit dem Boot jetzt dahin.
Ja.
Das ist krank. Also wenn da was passiert, im Worst Case geht das tödlich aus. Ne?
Wir sind jetzt gleich da. Da vorne scheint das Camp zu sein. Also es ist nicht mehr weit. Das Abenteuer beginnt, würde ich sagen.
Aber sowas von. Oh krass.
Hey, dieser Strand sieht so krass aus.
Das ist abgefahren.
Wir sind da. Hi.
Hey, Jacob.
He never mentioned which island they're going to. I don't think it's Haida Gwaii, but...
Felix. Geil.
Ey, wie krass.
Da sind wir. Geht hier direkt los. Wie gesagt, es sind super viele Forschende dabei. Die haben super viel Equipment. Das muss jetzt ausgeladen werden, damit wir hier mit den Forschungsarbeiten starten können. Ich treffe jetzt Tyra Bain, die ist Meeresbiologin und Killerwalforscherin hier auf dieser Expedition. Hi,
Hi.
I'm Felix. Du bist ja Orca-Forscherin. Was macht man da genau?
So I'm really interested in killer whale behavior as well as social systems. The northern resident killer whales that we see along the coast of BC have really interesting, complex social systems.
Oh, Telegraph Cove. Wait, are they in Telegraph Cove, though? Because that's near Port Hardy, more so Port McNeil, which is on the east coast of the island. So I'm curious now.
Was würdest du
But her toque might just be where she worked previously. I like her enthusiasm.
sagen, was fasziniert dich an Killerwalen?
There's not just one type of killer whale. There are tons and tons of different types. Here in BC we have 4, and each one's very
Definitely
unique.
on the west coast.
We have some that like to throw sea lions into the air to hunt them, and then we have some that follow schools of fish from southeastern Alaska down to southern Vancouver Island. So they're pretty impressive species.
Okay, also was machen wir jetzt genau?
So now we're going to do a hydrophone installation to see if we can catch some vocals of any killer whales out there. So they communicate using different clicks and whistles. We could also hear echolocation clicks. Those are sharp, like one-note clicks that they'll make to find food, kind of like biosonar. But then a lot of the whistles that they make is going to be communication for speaking to one another. Hydrophones are a great way to research orcas non-invasively. It's a special microphone that can detect.
I feel like whales are very intelligent and smart creatures. There's so much research. So researching them, I think, is great because there's so much that we don't understand, I would feel.
Sounds
about their
under
communication,
the water.
how
Next step is bringing it into the water.
Their social structures.
Ob ich auf der Insel wirklich Orcas sehen werde, ist noch nicht sicher. Deswegen habe ich mich mit Gary verabredet. Er ist Walforscher auf Vancouver Island und nimmt mich auf seinem Boot mit.
Hi. Hey Felix. Nice to meet you.
Hi Gary, nice to meet you.
You as well. I'll go in first here.
Yeah.
Welcome to the scanner.
Nice. Gary, was würdest du sagen, was fasziniert dich an Killerwalen?
Killer whales for me, ever since I was young enough to remember, have always been whales and dolphins in general, but specifically when you're talking about the apex predator, this killer whale, all the parallels between us and them I think are fascinating. You know, they are the most widely distributed mammal on planet Earth next to us, and they're all hunting different things in different ways. They have different foods and cultures and languages and even dialects within languages. I think that's amazing.
Warum werden Orcas denn eigentlich Killerwale genannt?
The original name was the killer of whales because these animals do hunt and kill other whales. Like today when we get out on the water, the killer whales we'll be looking for are the ones that hunt marine mammals, including big whales. Okay. It's not the most flattering name in the world, right? Killer whale. So they started using Orca, which comes from their Latin name, which is Orcinus orca. But roughly translated from Latin to English, that means whale from the underworld of the dead. So
sounds
whale from the underworld of the dead. That's badass.
Cool. So either way you look at it, it's not the most flattering name in the world. But I mean, make no mistake, as gentle as these animals can be with one another and how intelligent they are and social, they are apex predators. And I always like to remind people of that. Like these animals will hunt and kill baby whales, sea lions, dolphins. You go across the globe, killer whales are at the top of the food chain, making life hard on everything below them. Even killing birds and fish for fun. They are killers and incredible at what they do.
Was steht heute an? Was ist der Plan?
So today we're gonna head out around 2 o'clock and hopefully find some whales.
Ich werde mich jetzt umziehen. Also ich habe hier einen schönen Taucheranzug. In den werde ich jetzt reinschlüpfen und dann geht's ins Wasser, um das Hydrophon unter Wasser zu bekommen.
Yeah, you definitely need that diving suit because that water's gotta be cold.
Das wird großartig.
Ja, macht Sinn, oder?
Oh mein Gott, ey. Kein gutes Gefühl. Möchte ich hier einmal ganz kurz auf Kamera festhalten.
Alright, okay, let's go. Dann betreiben wir Forschung hier. Das ist auf jeden Fall ganz schön kalt.
Also das Mikrofon hier kommt jetzt ins Wasser. Mal gucken, ob es unten angekommen ist.
Ja, wir haben das halt auch schon platziert. Das heißt, jetzt können wir warten, dass hier Orcas vorbeischwimmen und wir uns die anhören können. Bin gespannt. Wir sind jetzt mit Gary auf einem Boot.
I'm just curious. I just want to know where this ocean-wise whale watching. Where are they at? Ocean-wise whales. Where are you guys at? You know, they might have multiple. This doesn't help. It's like a pretty big company.
Und versuchen, Killerwale in echt zu sehen. Ich bin sehr gespannt, ob wir fündig werden.
I think this is up near Port Hardy. Yeah.
Okay, also wir waren jetzt ein bisschen unterwegs, aber hier vorne müssten die Killerwale sein und sie müssten gerade jagen. Und jetzt hoffe ich mal, dass wir vielleicht ein paar geile Aufnahmen hinbekommen. Ich bin gespannt. Aber man sieht da vorne auf jeden Fall Vögel kreisen und darunter scheinen gerade ein paar Orcas richtig krass zu jagen. Bin gespannt. Und wie immer, wo Orcas sind, sind auch ganz viele Whale-Watching-Boote. Das ist schon verrückt.
So now we're gonna head on in and bring all of our equipment in. Okay.
Ja, ganz viel Salzwasser in den Mund bekommen. War schön. Ich habe großen Respekt vor allen Forschenden, die das regelmäßig machen müssen, um die Ergebnisse zu bekommen.
Jetzt müssen wir ans Lagerfeuer.
Hard work.
Ich glaube, sonst frieren wir hier und das ist wirklich, glaube ich, das Gefährlichste, was dir in der Wildnis passieren kann gerade. Dass du einfach unter Kühlung stehst.
Wir haben das Hydrophon ja jetzt vor ein paar Tagen
The weather
ins
up
Wasser
there is not-
gelassen. Gibt es irgendwelche Ergebnisse?
Okay, it's nice out
Also
now.
haben wir Orca-Aufnahmen?
Absolutely.
Well, what are they saying?
Really hard to say. Where's the fish? Who knows for sure? We just listened to vocals from our clan. Here's a different dialect that we could have heard, and these are different orcas speaking. I like that one because it kind of sounds like a donkey.
Yeah.
It's interesting because there's so many parts of the ocean that we haven't researched yet, and who knows what's down there? Who knows?
True.
And then one of the other dialects that we hear in this community is a clan.
Oh.
A bit different.
He's like,
Warum machst du diese Aufnahmen genau? Also was ist das Ziel davon?
So once we have recordings, we can analyze those recordings to see what orcas were in the area. First of all, just hearing those sounds indicates that there were orcas around. But if we dive in a little deeper, we're able to tell what clan and then what family potentially. So that's narrowing it down from about 350 individuals to maybe 7, which is pretty cool.
Wir wissen also jetzt, dass sich Orcas in der Nähe der Insel aufhalten. Mal schauen, ob wir sie auch zu sehen bekommen.
Can you guys smell it? It smells like freshly cut cucumber or watermelon rind. That's the oil of the sea lion. So sometimes you can find whales just by smelling them like that. That's when you know they've hunted.
Crazy.
Oh, they threw a piece of sea lion. Oh, I missed it.
Geil, Alter, wie nah. Wie jagen Killerwale und was fressen sie eigentlich?
So these big killer whales, they specialize in hunting marine mammals. Their eyesight is about as good as ours, but they can also see with sound. They have sonar or echolocation. So as these whales are swimming around, being quiet, they're always passively listening for maybe a splashing sea lion or something that's not paying attention, and then they'll try to sneak up on it, and they'll try to ram it as hard as they can with the front of their head. So when you have that much weight, like a 7,000-pound whale going 60 kilometers an hour and ramming into this sea lion, it can break its back, break its ribs, and so that's what they try to do, just keep hitting it over and over until it's subdued, because they don't want to get bit by a seal or a sea lion.
Ey, das ist so krass. Also ihr glaubt nicht, wie das ist, so nah an den Killerwalen zu sein. Das ist wirklich verrückt. Do they have natural enemies?
No, not besides us. You think of great white sharks, you know, often being the dominant predator in the ocean, but there's groups of killer whales around the world that will actually kill and eat great white sharks. So if you ever heard this before, but if you take a shark or a ray and you turn it upside down, they go into a state called tonic immobility. They essentially go to sleep. And so the whales have learned this. And so they'll flip over these sharks and then rip them open, and they just
flip over these sharks and just rip them open.
Eat their livers, and that's it. Killer whales are bigger, faster, stronger, smarter, and they work in teams. So it's very hard to compete with.
Du machst ja hier gerade ein paar Fotos von den Walen. Warum machst du das? Also was ist das Ziel der Forschung, gerade jetzt mit der Fotografie?
So whenever we're on scene with any group of killer whales, we're trying to get photo IDs or photo identification images, which means we're trying to get an image that captures the dorsal fin on the back and that white saddle patch beneath it as well, so that we can put that into our database, which goes back to the 1970s. It's this huge data set of the life history of these animals. So every time we encounter them, trying to record who we see, where we see, and what we're doing.
Das heißt, du erkennst auch jeden einzelnen Wal?
You can look at the dorsal shape and the saddle shape of this animal, and you'll see this this whale right here, T46B1, who's the matriarch of the group. She's got these very unique white scars. Can you see the white scars on her?
These?
And the dorsal shape is the same as well. So, so when we pull up on a group of whales, all you see is that little white scar, and you're like, oh, it's tread. And that's one of the things I love about doing it. And in this catalog too, we have the habitat use of these animals. This is British Columbia right here. This is Vancouver Island. You can see how often they're seen around southern Vancouver Island, quite a bit. Even in northern Vancouver Island, we have a sighting down in Oregon, and then all the way up into southeast Alaska too. The importance of this whole coast, including that area, is obvious by the habitat use. And this is an area that needs to be protected to make sure that these animals have the habitat they need to continue doing what they're doing here, feeding and thriving.
Jetzt hört man ja in letzter Zeit häufiger von Orca-Angriffen.
So, very cool. We saw some orcas. I will finish up this video in part 2. I don't know if, what his specific purpose, the YouTuber, if it was specifically to go to Vancouver Island to see orcas, or he's just on a tour through Canada, gathering different stories for his videos. But in any event, it would be a pretty amazing sight to get that close to the orcas. I was about that close when I saw them, and they were just, breaking the water, going back down, and then a couple minutes later, you'd see them breaking the water. It was a pod of about 6 or 7 of them, and it's pretty cool. Makes you think about the world, and it's a beautiful part of the world. The Great Bear Rainforest, all of the protected areas along our coast here that he was just describing. And yeah, it is important to preserve it, protect it, and make sure that all of the animals within the habitat have a good chance to thrive. All right, auf Wiedersehen.